Welcome to Rewrite Her Voice, the podcast that takes a bold and compassionate look at the inner critic living rent-free in your head. You know the one. She's judgmental, perfectionistic, and never misses a chance to tear you down. But here's the truth. That voice isn't truly you. Each week, we dive into an honest conversation with powerful stories and practical tools to uncover where that inner mean girl came from, why she shows up, and how to rewrite her script. It's time to reclaim your inner voice, break the cycle of self-sabotage, and speak to yourself with the kindness and strength you deserve. If you're ready to stop letting your inner mean girl run the show and start showing up as your most authentic, empowered self, let's go. Oh, hey, sunshine. Welcome back. So I want to talk about something today. It's called being the strong one. Okay, this is the silent exhaustion of being the emotionally responsible one. And let's talk how to soften without collapsing. Like soften without falling apart, right? So the strong one, the one who takes care of everything and everyone without batting an eyelash, right? If this is you, it might look like managing everyone's emotions, anticipating needs before they're spoken, fixing conflict, staying calm during crisis, suppressing your own needs to keep the system stable, becoming the dependable one in every room. In the past, maybe you were even praised for overfunctioning and being mature for your age, kid. Somewhere along the way, you started to believe that you are loved when you are useful. Maybe you're even one of the hyper-independence folks. Compulsive self-reliance driven by fear rather than preference. You have incredible discomfort when receiving help. It is not for you. It is not your thing. You and help, you're not friends. You feel guilty for having needs. You say, I'm fine automatically, even if you're not. Maybe you experience some emotional numbness. Maybe you have exhaustion hidden behind your competence. You feel safer giving care than receiving it. Resentment when nobody notices that you're drowning. Someone who becomes an emotional anchor for everyone else, often struggling deeply with letting themselves be cared for. Sound like you? The thing is, the body learns. It scans for danger. It monitors moods. It prevents conflict. It regulates everyone else, stays useful. Don't collapse, right? Eventually, rest itself can feel unsafe. Many strong ones don't realize they're even exhausted because overfunctioning has become their default setting. So what happens when these become your default? The uncomfortable truth here is it'll take a toll on your body and your brain. I'm talking chronic fatigue, irritability, emotional numbness, loneliness, resentment, identity loss, difficulty relaxing, inability to ask for help, feeling unseen, burnout masked as productivity. Are you feeling a little uncomfortable yet? Did you check off too many of these? The crazy thing is, because you are always the strong one, the put together one, no one checks on you because no one checks on the strong ones, right? So how do we reframe this? How do we reframe the belief that we have to be strong? We have to keep it together. We have to be useful to be accepted. What if its softness is not weakness? Receiving support is not failure. Rest is not your responsibility. What if it's that simple? So psychology today says that healing often looks less like becoming less strong and more like allowing reciprocity, tolerating being seen, expressing needs before burnout, practicing interdependence, setting limits without guilt, learning that your value isn't tied to emotional labor. So there's this thing we can actually do to help ourselves out of this pattern, okay? It's called micro-dependence. It's very small acts of letting people show up for you. So what could that look like? It could look like asking for help before the collapse, before the crisis cripples you, saying, I actually had a hard day, or I'm really tired. Letting someone care for you without earning it. Resting without justification because we don't earn rest, right? It could look like not fixing every emotional situation immediately. Strong doesn't mean emotionally invulnerable, my friend. You and I both know you're feeling the things and probably feeling them rather deeply, huh? As strong ones, we know how to carry, manage, soothe, survive, but not always how to receive, lean, unravel safely, or be held emotionally. That's why softening without collapsing can be such an impactful phrase for us. The fear underneath often sounds like, if I stop holding everything together, everything will fall apart. But sustainable strength, the kind that doesn't result in burnout, usually comes from flexibility, support, boundaries, and self-compassion, not permanent emotional self-abandonment. We're really good at that, okay? We're really good at abandoning ourselves. Asking for support, asking for flexibility, asking for boundaries, asking for self-compassion from ourselves. We're not so good at that. Here's some things I want you to think about. You became strong because softness didn't feel safe. Your nervous system learned survival, not rest. Being needed became confused with being loved. You are allowed to be supported before you break. Softness is not surrender. It's safety returning. You can stop carrying everyone without becoming selfish. I know that that's a genuine fear. If I take care of myself, that means I'm selfish, right? No, that's not right. That is not truth. The goal isn't to become less caring. It's to stop disappearing inside your care for others. So what do? When you've spent years being the strong one, healing usually isn't about becoming softer overnight. It's about teaching your nervous system that you no longer have to earn safety through overfunctioning. The hard part is that many emotionally responsible people don't just do strength. They identify with it. So when they stop carrying everything, they can feel guilt, anxiety, emptiness, or even panic. The work is learning how to soften without abandoning yourself or collapsing into chaos. So here are some of the most effective approaches we can take here. All right. Number 1, notice where you overfunction. The first step is awareness. So ask yourself, what do I automatically take responsibility for? What emotions do I rush to manage in other people? Where do I feel resentful but keep saying yes? What would happen if I stopped fixing this? Many strong ones are operating on autopilot, anticipating the needs, emotionally monitoring everyone, solving problems before others even notice them, and absorbing tension to keep peace. You cannot change patterns you normalize, so take note of the patterns. Number 2, separate strength from self-abandonment. A lot of people confuse being loving with overextending themselves, or being dependable with never having needs. And real strength includes boundaries, rest, honesty, receiving support, saying, I can't do that right now. You don't stop being caring when you stop carrying everyone. Number 3, learn to tolerate being misunderstood. Yikes. This is one of the deepest parts of healing and also one of the most uncomfortable. When you stop overfunctioning, some people may call you distant, less available, selfish, different, not yourself. But often what they mean is you no longer overgive in ways I benefited from. That doesn't automatically mean you're doing something wrong. Many strong people stay exhausted because they fear disappointing others more than they fear burning themselves out. Number 4, practice softening in the smallest micro movements and ways. Softening doesn't mean emotionally overwhelming yourself, okay? Think small, think safe. Baby steps even. Here's some examples. Telling the truth when you're tired instead of saying I'm fine. Asking for help with one thing. Letting someone comfort you without minimizing it. Resting without earning it. Leaving texts unanswered for a while. Allowing silence instead of fixing tension immediately. Saying, I don't have capacity for that today. Tiny nervous system shifts matter more than dramatic breakthroughs, okay? Number 5. Stop waiting until you are breaking to deserve care. A huge pattern for the strong ones is, I'm allowed to rest once everything is done. But everything is never done. Another one is people will notice that I need help. Here's the thing. Often they won't because you've trained everyone else to see you as endlessly capable. They have, in essence, been trained not to notice you needing help because you don't look like it on the surface. You are allowed to ask for support when you're drowning, and better yet, before you're drowning. Number 6, rebuild your relationship with needs. Many strong ones feel guilt, shame, or weakness around having emotional needs. So healing involves relearning. You have to relearn needing comfort is human. Asking for reassurance is not failure. Support isn't dependency. Interdependence is healthy. Here's a way to look at it. Would I judge someone else for needing what I need? Usually, the answer is no. Number 7, let people carry their own emotions sometimes. The strong ones, the hyper-independent ones, often become emotional managers. They over-explain, rescue, smooth conflict, absorb discomfort, fix moods. But healthy relationships require shared emotional responsibility. Someone else's discomfort is not your emergency. You can care without rescuing or fixing. Number 8, regulate your nervous system, not just your mindset. This is bigger than positive thinking. When your body has lived in chronic responsibility, your nervous system may associate rest with danger, stillness with guilt, softness with vulnerability, receiving help with loss of control. To practice regulation here, I'm going to give you some ideas, some things to try, okay? So I want you to pick one, give it a shot, see if it works. If it helps, great, keep doing it. If it doesn't, let's try a different one. Slow walks. Not power walking, okay? Not like you have somewhere to be, but slow, leisurely walks. Take the time to notice the sounds and the sights around you. Slow walks. Yoga, all right? And it doesn't have to be like that 102-degree hot yoga. I've never done hot yoga in my life. That does not sound like a good time to me. I'm talking about just quiet, feeling your body, stretching your body yoga. You could also try somatic work or breath work, journaling, therapy, or coaching, grounding exercises, safe relationships, intentional rest without multitasking. Listen, if you are an audiobook listener, why don't you try sitting down and listening to the book without doing something else? Or if you're like me and you love watching TV, put your phone in a different room. You don't need to do something while you're watching TV. Just watch the TV. Intentional rest without doing something with it. The goal is helping your body experience safety without hypervigilance. Number 9, grieve the version of you that survived this way. Sometimes strength developed because you had no other option. There can be grief in realizing how early you became responsible, how much you carried alone, how little support you received, how often you silenced yourself. Healing is not dishonoring the strong version of you. That version protected you. But you may not need survival mode strength forever. Number 10, redefine what strong means to you. Maybe strength is no longer never crying, never needing help, always holding it together, being available to everyone. Maybe strength becomes honesty, boundaries, softness, emotional safety, mutual support, rest, self-trust, asking for what you need. You don't have to collapse to stop carrying everything alone, okay? Let me say that again. You don't have to collapse to stop carrying everything alone. So let's do some reframing here, okay? I can be loving without overextending myself. Rest is not a reward for exhaustion. My needs do not make me difficult. Being emotionally available to myself matters too. I do not have to disappear to be loved. Softness is not failure. I'm allowed to stop proving how much I can carry. There's also an important truth here. Many strong people are not actually afraid of being weak. They're afraid no one will catch them if they finally let go. So here's my invitation. Allow the people in your life to see you, to truly see you and your needs. You are worthy of help and being caught when you let go. If this episode felt a little too familiar, if you're tired of carrying everything emotionally while silently falling apart underneath, I want you to know you don't have to heal anyone anymore, okay? Come connect with me over on social media where we have honest conversations about self-worth, emotional healing, burnout, attachment wounds, and learning how to soften without losing yourself. And make sure you join my email list because that's where I share deeper encouragement, journal prompts, healing reflections, podcast updates, and the kind of reminders that feel like a safe exhale in the middle of a really, really heavy week. You can find all the links in the show notes. And my friend, I'm really glad you're here. Remember, you are worthy, you are enough, and you are loved. Until next time, love, Rach. Hey, my sweet friend. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Rewrite Her Voice. If you loved today's episode, will you hit that subscribe button for me? And be sure to share it with a friend. If you're ready to quiet your inner mean girl and step into your own authentic voice, I would love for you to join me inside our Cultivating membership. Until next time, remember, you are enough.